They told you dogs and bones were a match made in heaven, right? But what if that classic image of a happy pup gnawing on a big bone is actually dangerous? Yep. What you don't know about bones might be putting your dog at serious risk. And here's the wild part. Most people are doing it wrong, not out of neglect, but because nobody ever told them the truth. Not your vet, not the pet store, and definitely not that cute dog influencer on Instagram. Shocking? It should be. Now, imagine giving your dog something that's supposed to bring joy, and it ends with a vet visit, x-rays, or worse. Sounds dramatic? It happens every single day. But guess what? It doesn't have to be that way. If you've ever wondered whether bones are healthy, harmful, or somewhere in between, you're in the right place. In this video, we're diving deep into the truth behind bones, the types of bones, which are safe and which are dangerous, the health benefits and risks of giving bones to dogs, and the safety tips for giving bones to your dog that no one is talking about. By the end of this, you'll be part of the small group of dog parents who actually know what they're doing. And your pup? They'll love you for it. So, ready to break some myths and maybe save your dog's life? Let's go. When it comes to feeding bones to dogs, most people carry around a mix of nostalgia and misinformation. You've seen it in cartoons, you've seen it in movies, a happy dog gnawing on a perfectly clean white bone like it's heaven on earth. But here's where reality throws a curveball. Not all bones are safe, and giving the wrong one might turn that joyful moment into an emergency room nightmare. The real challenge is understanding the types of bones, which are safe and which are dangerous, and it's a lot more nuanced than people think. For starters, there's a golden rule most experienced dog owners swear by. Never give your dog cooked bones. Why? Because heat changes everything. It dries out the bone's natural structure, making it brittle and prone to splintering. Those splinters don't just hurt, they can cause internal bleeding, intestinal blockages, or even pierce vital organs. Scary stuff, right? Now, raw bones are a completely different story. In their natural uncooked state, bones maintain flexibility and density, which means they're less likely to break into deadly shards. Large raw beef knuckles, lamb shanks, or marrow bones are great examples of safer options. These are not just harder to break, they also give dogs something to really work on, which taps into their primal chewing instincts. But again, size matters. You wouldn't hand a Chihuahua a beef femur, just like you wouldn't give a Rottweiler a chicken neck. A good rule of thumb? The bone should be larger than your dog's muzzle to prevent them from trying to swallow it whole. So, yes, size up, always. Let's talk about those trendy pet store bones too. You know the ones. They're labeled smoked, baked, oven roasted, or hickory flavored. They look gourmet. They sound fancy. But here's the truth bomb. They're usually just cooked bones in disguise. And like we already established, cooked equals risk. If it's gone through any kind of heat treatment, it falls under the dangerous category, no matter how delicious the label makes it sound. Don't get distracted by marketing. Get focused on safety. You can even ask your vet or a holistic pet nutritionist for bone recommendations specific to your dog's breed, size, and jaw strength. Here's a practical takeaway most people overlook. Dogs don't need bones every day. You're not trying to turn your pup into a lion. Offering 1 or 2 bones a week, safe bones of course, is more than enough to satisfy their instinct to chew while promoting better dental health. Freeze the bones to make them last longer and add a challenge to the chewing process. You'll reduce boredom, prevent destructive behavior, and your dog will love you for it. It's like giving them a job, a delicious, primal, satisfying job. Now you might be asking, what if I've been giving my dog the wrong bones this whole time? Well, first off, don't panic. Dogs are resilient, but knowledge is power. And you've just unlocked a piece of wisdom most pet owners never even stop to consider. Understanding the types of bones, which are safe and which are dangerous, can be the difference between nurturing your dog's health and unknowingly putting it at risk. And once you've got that foundation, you're ready to explore a deeper layer, because now that you know what to give, the next question is, should you give bones at all? And if yes, what are the actual health benefits and risks of giving bones to dogs? Quick pause. Let us know in the comments where you're watching from, and subscribe to watch more videos like this. Let's not beat around the bush. bones can be both a blessing and a curse. Like fire, they can warm your home or burn it to the ground. The truth is, the health benefits and risks of giving bones to dogs are often oversimplified, when in reality, they live in this gray zone that only a wise, informed pet parent can truly navigate. Let's talk benefits first, because oh boy, they're real. When offered the right way, bones can be a powerhouse for your dog's health. We're talking better dental hygiene, no more toxic breath, stronger jaws, mental stimulation, and even improved gut health. Picture a raw marrow bone on a lazy afternoon. Your dog gnawing for hours, scraping away tartar, releasing pent-up anxiety, and working those primal instincts like it's 10,000 BC. That's more than just a snack. That's canine therapy in action. But now let's flip the coin, because we can't talk about the health benefits and risks of giving bones to dogs without getting real about the dangers. One of the biggest? Internal injuries. A cooked chicken bone can splinter like glass and cause internal tears that are life-threatening. Even with raw bones, there's the risk of bacterial contamination like Salmonella or E. coli, especially if the bone sits out too long or isn't handled properly. That's why supervision and hygiene are everything. And don't get me started on dental fractures. Yeah, the irony. The very thing that's supposed to clean their teeth can actually crack them if it's too hard or given too aggressively. Imagine shelling out $2,000 on a tooth extraction because you didn't know bones could break more than just boredom. Still, let's not throw the bone out with the bathwater. Smart bone feeding is possible. It's about context, portion, frequency, and supervision. For example, many holistic vets recommend recreational raw bones like beef marrow or lamb femur bones, large enough to prevent swallowing and dense enough to resist splintering. You can freeze them to slow your dog down, or stuff them with a little organic pumpkin or Greek yogurt to level up the enrichment. Think of it like a Kong toy made by nature. And here's a mindset shift that changes the game. Don't treat bones like treats. Treat them like tools. Tools for training. Tools for health. Tools for engagement. Your goal is to offer bones in a way that supports your dog's long-term well-being, not just for a quick tail wag. That means avoiding high-risk situations, like giving a bone after a heavy meal or when multiple dogs are around, because resource guarding is real and fights can happen. The health benefits and risks of giving bones to dogs are deeply tied to how, when, and why you give them. A raw beef knuckle given in a calm environment once or twice a week is a whole different story from tossing cooked scraps off your plate without a second thought. Now here's the twist. Even when you've got the right bone and the right reasons, things can still go south if you skip one critical ingredient: safety. So before you go tossing that bone over like it's fetch time, there are some golden rules you absolutely need to know. Which brings us quite naturally to the next pillar of wisdom every dog guardian needs in their toolkit. Let's not sugarcoat it. Giving a dog a bone can be an act of love, or a loaded gamble. And the difference? It's all in the execution. The safety tips for giving bones to your dog are what separate the casual pet owner from the wise, intentional guardian. You wouldn't hand a toddler a sharp knife and say, "Figure it out," right? Same goes for bones and dogs. Because no matter how natural chewing is, your dog's safety isn't something you leave to chance. It's something you manage, deliberately, intelligently, consistently. Rule number 1, supervise every single time. Doesn't matter if it's their first bone or their 50th. Distractions happen, dogs get overexcited, and all it takes is one wrong bite to turn a peaceful chew into a life-threatening situation. If you wouldn't let a child eat unsupervised, don't let your dog chew unsupervised either. Stay nearby, pay attention to their chewing patterns, and watch for signs they're trying to swallow chunks that are too big. That's your cue to intervene. Rule number 2, choose the right bone for the right dog. And that means factoring in size, age, breed, and even personality. A teething puppy might benefit from soft, pliable raw bones like chicken necks under close watch, while a senior dog with dental issues may be better off with a softer, edible dental chew. A strong-jawed bully breed might need something denser like a raw knuckle bone to keep them occupied safely. The point is, this is not a one-size-fits-all deal. The best safety tips for giving bones to your dog start with knowing your dog, not just dogs in general. Now here's a gem most people miss. Timing matters. Don't give bones right before or after meals. Why? Because some dogs gulp when they're hungry or overly full, increasing the risk of choking or bloating. The sweet spot is when your dog is calm, focused, and not competing with other pets. Speaking of which, never, and I mean never, introduce bones in multi-dog settings unless you want a front row seat to a fight. Resource guarding is real, and it can escalate fast. If you have multiple dogs, give bones in separate rooms or crates, no exceptions. And let's talk cleanliness, because yeah, bacteria is a thing. Raw bones can harbor salmonella, E. coli, and other nasties if not stored or handled properly. Always freeze raw bones before offering them, serve them on a washable surface, like a towel or silicone mat, and discard any bone that's been out for over an hour. You wouldn't eat sushi that's been on the floor for 3 hours, would you? Neither should your dog. Now for a practical pro tip that'll make your life easier. Introduce bones as part of a controlled enrichment routine. Don't just toss one randomly. Use a command like settle or place so the dog associates bone time with calm behavior. Over time, this becomes more than a snack. It becomes a structured activity, a habit that reinforces focus, relaxation, and trust. That's next-level dog parenting right there. At the end of the day, the smartest safety tips for giving bones to your dog come down to one golden mindset. Respect the chew. Chewing is instinctual, yes, but it's also powerful, messy, and, without guidance, dangerous. Bones are tools, and tools in the hands of someone thoughtful build incredible results. But we're not done yet, because now that you've got the knowledge, the know-how, and the clarity, you're just one insight away from a complete transformation in how you feed, care for, and understand your dog. Now that you've got the real story, the truth behind bones and dogs, the question isn't if you should apply this, it's when. Because the knowledge alone won't protect your dog, but action will. So ask yourself, are you feeding your dog with intention or with habit? Are you choosing bones that heal or ones that harm? This isn't just about avoiding risks. It's about unlocking the power of smarter, safer care. And now, you've got the tools. Imagine how many dog owners are still in the dark, casually tossing cooked bones, thinking they're doing something right. That doesn't have to be you. Not anymore. You're ahead of the curve now. But what are you going to do with that edge? Have you ever had a close call with your dog and a bone? What kind of bones have you been giving? Drop it in the comments. Your story might just help someone else avoid a huge mistake. And hey, if this opened your eyes, if you learned something valuable, or if you just want to keep your dog healthy, happy, and by your side for years to come, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications. There's way more coming your way, and trust me, you won't want to miss what's next.